So the first thing we're going to do, you've got your presentation there. There's some links in there that you are going to need. We are going to watch this brief video about binary numbers. So today we're going to learn a little bit about binary coding. I think both of you have been with me in some of my coding sessions before. So this is just a little bit more of an explanation about how graphics appear on your computer screen and how they are coded.
There are only 10 kinds of people in this world. Those who understand binary and those who don't.
Really more of a visual joke because it's not 10, it's 10. Welcome to Math Bites. Today we'll talk about binary numbers, also known as base 2. But what is base 2? This is. I stole it.
I know what base 2 is. Second base. Yeah.
No.
Base 2 is some sort of a math language?
Yes.
Okay, thank God. Daddy's smart.
Base 2 is an alternate way of expressing numbers, which has many applications, including that the device upon which you are currently watching this video speaks at its very core a language in binary code. Ones and zeros, baby. It's true, the image you see is not really me, rather a base 2 representation of this so-called me. But before we can understand binary numbers, we should take a closer look at our own decimal number system, the good old familiar base 10. In base 10, we have 10 symbols at our disposal for representing numbers. As you know, in various combinations, the symbols can represent any number of objects we can think of, using something called place value, which gives us a lot more bang for the buck for a mere 10 little symbols, if you know what I mean. Each column of numbers represents multiplication times the power of 10. There's the ones place, 10 to the 0 power, tens place, 10 to the 1 power, hundreds place, 10 to the 2 power, and so on. So when you see a number like 375 in base 10, you're really seeing this. Most of the world uses these symbols along with powers of 10 and has for a long, long time. It's a great system.
I don't get it. Why do you use 10? What makes 10 so special?
That's how many fingers we have.
I don't get it. Do you? Know what they're talking about?
Not a clue. Nope.
Most of us have 10 fingers. Anyway, the point of all that was to give you context for how binary works. In binary, instead of using 10 symbols and powers of 10, we use just 2 symbols and powers of 2. And we can still express big numbers using just 2 symbols. Base 2 or binary works the same way as the decimal system. But this time, each column of numbers represents multiplication times the power of 2. There's the ones place, 2 to the 0 power, twos place, 2 to the 1 power, fours place, 2 to the 2 power, and so on. Of course, it's a lot harder to express big numbers this way. You need a lot more digits. So if it's that inefficient, why do computers use it? Well, it's how they store and relay information. Because the core of computers is just electronics after all. And for any given pathway on a circuit board, you gotta admit, either a current is flowing or it's not. Yes, no, on, off. Yes, no. Yes. Yes, no, on, off, 1, 0, binary. Now, I know what you're thinking, but how do we do math with binary numbers? Boolean logic. And Boolean logic is used to design the components in computer processors. So surf away, you've got Boolean logic to thank.
You have reached your destination.
Thank you, Boolean.
Thank you, Boolean logic.
Thank you, Boolean logic.
It's David. And thank you.
You might take it to the side. For algorithm, you can't write line if the circuit design is efficient. And the computer works when he writes binary. He's the boogie woogie boogie boy of company.
Time for
The takeaway tip.
The takeaway tip is just a little tidbit of mathy goodness to make you look smarter at cocktail parties.
Yes, calculus. The square root of brilliance, double clink.
Today's tip? Binary numbers are the language of all electronics, a bunch of ones and zeros. Oh, and by the way, now you totally understand this joke, right? Because what's 1, 0 in binary? 2. So there's 2 types of people, Get it? Just nod and smile. Thanks for joining us today on Math Bites. Hope you have a new perspective on binary and perhaps a deep appreciation for our facts-based decimal system. See you next time.
All right, so that was just a
Thanks for watching the binary episode of Math Bites. But I know
a brief introduction on, oh no, where did my presentation go? I left the presentation. Let me get it back. A brief introduction on binary. So now we're going to do a few things. Give me just a second to get my, and I'm back on there. And it's thinking about it. There we go. All right, so if we had a picture like you see on this slide where you have black and white squares, the essence of binary that she was talking about is that you have zeros and ones. White is always 0 and black squares are always 1. So if you wanted to code that picture, you would have a 1 0 0 1 in 2 lines. That would be the algorithm. So if we wanted someone to replicate that picture without showing them the graphic, we would only give them the numbers. So for example, if you had 1 1 0, then that would be a black square, and a white square, and they wouldn't need to see it to be able to figure out the algorithm. So let's see. In essence of time, we're going to hop on. We're going to go ahead and do a coding activity. If you guys can grab a piece of paper, Marley, I've got you one here. And you'll need so I'll give you a minute. Go find a piece of notebook paper, a piece, you can even use a sticky. It may be kind of short. Piece of copy paper, notebook paper, anything. And when you have that piece of paper, if you'll just type in the chat and let me know that you have your piece of paper, I'm going to show you how this works with pictures on your computer. So again, when you find your piece of paper, just give me, I have it in the chat, and that way I'll know you are ready. Thank you, Maya. Hey, Connor, how are you? Okay, so I'm going to walk you through how to fold it. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for just a second so you can see me. All right, so on your piece of paper, you're going to fold it. I don't know, I'm sure you guys are familiar with hot dog and hamburger. This was the best way I knew how to describe this. So if you're holding it up and down, you're going to fold it in half like a hamburger bun. And then you are going to fold it in half again. So hamburger, and then again like this. Okay. And then if you'll open it back up and take some type of pen, a pencil, marker, anything, and go ahead and trace your lines that you just made. Does not have to be perfect. Okay. So you should have 4 lines going down your paper. Okay. Now we're going to fold it the other way. So hold your paper with the lines going up and down, and you're going to fold it hot dog style. You go ahead and do all your squares. Yeah, I did. Or is it 3?
I did 3.
It's okay. Just do the 3.
Yeah,
it won't matter.
3.
Yeah. 3 lines, 4 columns. Sorry. All right. So after you do it hot dog style, then you are going to tri-fold it. I didn't know how else to say this, but you're going to fold it into thirds. It doesn't matter if your squares are not perfect.
Oh, why not?
So you kind of have like a skinny piece. Unfold it, and then, yeah, I've already folded yours. Do your lines as well. So you should have a 4 by 6 grid on your paper. So it looks something like this. And again, it's okay if it is not perfect. And when you guys are ready for me to keep going, just let me know in the chat and I will keep going. Let me find my picture that I did. And you might be thinking, how on earth is this coding? But I'm trying to hopefully have you make sense of the binary system when you see graphics. Maya, just let me know when you are all lined up. Yeah. And then just 1, 2, 3. Go. That'll work.
Yeah, they're definitely not even.
That's okay. And then I'm going to go back to sharing my screen right quick. All right, so what we are going to do is we are going to type or make a simple image. So what I did on the side is I did a J. So it doesn't matter which way you turn your paper. That part does not matter. So I want you just to pick a simple image to code. And all you're going to do is take a pencil and just shade in the squares that you want to be dark. And so I did a J. So I'm going to give you a minute to do that. And then I'll show you how the binary code runs for graphics on your computer. And I gave some simple images on my screen to kind of show you can either, I shaded in black, but these did all around to make theirs. Of course, they have more squares, but just an example. And then just let me know when you have your squares shaded in, and I'll show you how to apply those Boolean numbers and the binary code to your image.
Does this look like an N?
Go up this one,
I was
yeah.
about to
Color
say,
in
should I
that
do
one.
that one? That's what I was debating on if I should do.
So it goes up, down, and I would do that one.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. If you have one more set of squares, it will probably be easier.
Yeah, because then I can make it. Because then I could go like make that diagonal.
Okay, so what we're going to do next is we are going to turn this into an algorithm. And an algorithm is simply steps you take to complete a task. So when your computer is reading code, it is reading the algorithms that your computer has for your graphics. So remember, 0 for white and 1 for the black squares. So I am going to stop sharing right quick. So my code, where you need on this piece of paper, or you can do it on the back. You can do this on a sticky or the back or whatever. So now you're going to code your picture.
Wait, just from top to bottom?
Yep, top to bottom. So, for example, my top line of code from, and it might be reversed, I don't know. So if white is 0, this would be a 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So when I'm writing my algorithm, that is what it says. 0, 1, 1, 1, 1. And so each line left to right of my picture is a line of binary code. And if you remember in the video, she talked about how we use on, off, ones, and zeros. This is how all of the graphics on your computers are actually loaded. It gets a little more complicated when you start thinking about color. There are different numbers for color on the color wheel. So I just want you to take a minute and write the algorithm for your image in binary code. So technically, you could take my code and a set of squares, and you could create my image just based on the code. That's what your computer does. It reads these numbers and makes your image. I'm going to show you that again in just a minute. So I'm going to give everybody a chance to write out their binary code. Okay, Mark.
Excuse me, I'm sorry I'm late. I had to help my little sister with her work. On what website do I have to go to?
I'm going to put it in the chat for you. And it will take you to the presentation. And we are going to be on slide 8. And I'm also recording this and I'll put it on the website as well. So it's just zeros. And so my neighbor is here with me and she did an M that I just dropped. And so she had her first row as all zeros because it was white all the way across. It's good. All right, so
did you say it was in the chat?
Yes, I just put it in the chat. It should say it's a bit.ly link. You see it?
No, there's nothing in the chat.
Let me try to send it again. Hang on. Oh, I didn't hit enter. Yeah. All right, try again.
Okay.
And I'm going to share my screen again. Hillary, do you see it now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. All right, so website 1, if you click on it, is going to take you to a pixel art and binary code, which is kind of neat. So what you're going to do is you would click, if I were to make my J, for example, that we just did. So maybe I won't, yep, just click on website 1. And let's say, I'm just going to make a J right quick. Maybe. We're going to try. I don't know. Oh, no, that's not a bad looking J there. And if you show or hide binary, it will take ones. And at the bottom, it shows you your binary code. So I'm going to give you a minute to play with that. So that's a pretty cool website. It just shows you how the zeros and ones would work. You actually could send someone a whole bunch of zeros and ones and have them, if we were in person or if we were doing this in class, what I would have you do is partner up and give somebody the binary code and have them figure out what it would be like on graph paper. So I was trying to figure out how to do this virtually. The second website is Pixel Art. Oh.
Mine's working.
Give me just a minute here. So pixel art is kind of cool as well. Let me load it back up. New drawing. Bish, 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 bish. New. I'll get there in a minute. Okay. So if you're on pixel drawing, if you notice all these tiny black and white squares, these are your binary squares that we just did. So for the J that I did, all the black squares would be my J's, and you can fill them in. If you click on the pencil tool, you can fill them in and draw with your mouse. Now, here's the cool thing about this website that I love. After you draw pixel art, you can have it put on a t-shirt, a cup, anything you want. And it's actually pretty cool. So I'm going to give you a minute to play.
I'll just draw this.
You draw whatever you want to, and you can change the color. I'm just going to do my J. It's a little sensitive, but let's see. I'm doing all kinds of jacked up things here. And then over on the side,
I'll just do a gray.
I've got like this ad down here. Let me get rid of it. So I don't know, I'm just going to do all kinds of crazy things here. Now, once you click download, just so you'll know, and save it, we're going to call it practice hot mess because that's what it is.
That's terrible.
Hey, it looks like a puppy on yours.
I don't see it. Oh, I guess it kind of does because
yeah, it looks like his nose and his head. Oh, yours is touch screen. Yeah, sorry.
I just realized that I could draw it like this.
So once you save it, then you can go and load it onto t-shirts and all kinds of neat things. So that's a really cool way to do pixel art as well. It downloaded it. So here, if you see what it did.
Oh, can you clear?
It took my design automatically and loaded it into like an iPhone case, all kinds of different things. A tote bag. Obviously, I would not buy this.
A banana.
It will give you all kinds of things.
A coffee mug, a t-shirt.
Yep.
That's actually kind of cool.
So you could do your own pixel art. It has all kinds of neat graphics. If you pay for the pay-for version, obviously it's...
I can't...
I think the eraser is...
Yeah, I have the eraser.
I would just do File and New. Or Clear.
Oh, wait, exit.
Clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did want to show that. So again, this works off of all your binary numbers, zeros and ones, just like we were practicing. All right, so the spooky art part. So those are two websites you can play around with. I really just wanted you to show because it just kind of shows you how you can make your own things and do your own designs. It's pretty neat. All right, so Flip and Nim. So this is how you can make your own gifts. I thought this was super cool. So you click on that link and it will open up this. You can save it if you want to. You can come back and play with it.
Yeah.
Our class always moves kind of fast, but all right. So here is how this website works. So again, you see your squares just like we did with our initials earlier. And I made one earlier. Let's see if I can find it. I don't think you have to register. Or I don't remember my information. I think I did. I was going to show you the one I created.
Wait, where is it?
Oh, look, I have it on there. Look at this. All right, so here's the one I created the other day, and I'll show you how to do it. So it's how they make GIFs. So if you've seen the GIFs that are interactive, this is the one that I did. So I'll show you how I made this. Okay, so let's just go back home. I'm not going to log in because I don't have to. All right, couple of buttons, plus, minus, and this button right here. So to start with, pick an image to draw on your screen. Down here is your draw tool. I learned a lot about these tools. There's fill in the paint. I struggled with it. So I'm just going to do something like this. And then it gives you your color palette. So if I were doing a pumpkin, I'm just going to draw my little pumpkin friend. Okay, don't laugh.
Oh, no, it's great. It's so great.
All right. And then after you draw your pumpkin,
how do you get
you can fill it in like that. So go to Flip and M, click here.
Oh, there.
Yep. And then I'm going to draw a stem. And I want my stem to be green.
I guess I'll draw.
I don't know if the paint bucket's going to work or not for this, but we're going to try.
Oh, no. How do I undo?
Oh!
That's cute.
Well, that's not what I wanted to happen. So let's get rid of that. I may just have to fill it in. This is what I struggled with in the program earlier, but okay. Coloring in my stem. So there's my base image. So whatever image you want to start with, we're going to add on to. Okay, don't laugh. I'm attempting to do this. Great. Is there not like a better pen? What is that? That is no better.
How do you make this fit outside?
All right. Let's say I wanted to use that as my base image. So now I'm going to click up here. There's a plus sign. It's going to overlay another one. Now I'm going to click the first animation that I want, which on my example was a eye. And so I drew in an eye and colored it in. Okay. And now I'm going to overlay again for my second eye. And then I'm going to overlay again for my nose. And I'm going to overlay again for my mouth. Beep, 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 beep. I'm trying to think of what I could do with the second one. Did you see where I went?
Yeah, I just trying to make.
And so when you want to click your, if you want it to animate, you click that as an overlay.
Yeah, I saw.
So you can pick, so down here it tells you I have 5 of 5. And then here you can hit play. And there is what I created. So let's just say I don't like how my eyes aren't colored in for that animation. I could go back and color in my eyes a little more if I wanted to. And so then you can always click stop. I think you just click outside of it.
There we go.
And your screens are all at the bottom.
First one.
So I'm gonna let you guys play around with it. And so now.
Oh, hold on. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a cat coming out.
Okay. Oh, that's she's gonna make a cat coming out of her pumpkin.
Wait, what do you?
I think I'm gonna do from here. We're gonna have another critter come in. I'm gonna do pencil, and I think I want to do like a black. I'm not an artist, guys. So now he enter my friend Creepy Head. And it's always good to play it so you know kind of what it looks like. So now my person's popping up. And so now I'm going to add another one. And my person, I'm going to do something else. Oh.
No.
Cut the top off. Okay,
Wait.
it's pretty fun.
You need to just add a silver blade onto it. just add some gray onto it and it'll make it a silver blade.
No, but now that I see the size, now that I understand the size thing, I'm gonna go back and do this. My stem. That's what I was trying to figure out earlier. Ha. Now I can do my eyes.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh, backspace.
Why is it not editing it?
Can you clear something? Clear.
You can undo, go down, and there's an undo button, right?
Yeah, but I want to clear this page.
You just want to trash it? I think there's a trash can.
Here, I just minus the.
Were you guys able to create anything?
This is gonna be super cute. Okay.
I'm creating a pumpkin turned into a pumpkin pie.
Oh, I like it. A pumpkin and a pumpkin pie.
That's cute.
That's good. So when you are pulling up GIFs or whatever, this is how essentially they are created, is by overlaying images.
Here's. Oh wait, I made it too big. The cat's head is almost bigger than the pumpkin.
What I can't figure out is it won't let me. Don't understand. What if I tried this pencil? Ah, there we go. Whoa. Okay, and then I wonder if it saves your changes. But it doesn't. I bet you got to figure all that out at the beginning.
Oh, this is hard.
It looks like he's shooting black tar or something at him.
No, it looks like he's trying. It looks like he's.
We need to clean this up. And then Okay, no.
I know what you should do. You should cover the entire pumpkin with the black, and then have it like shrink down.
Now he is going. Oh no! I chopped out his neck.
No, it's still there because you made a new one.
Okay, so now we have the pumpkin head is going to be laying on the ground.
Undo.
I need orange.
Let's try to fill this thing in, I guess. It's the paint bucket, right? Fill. Yes, I can fill. Not perfect. But nothing is. There's my cat so far. Now I have to make the pumpkin top on his head.
All right, so I think you guys probably understand how the flip and M works. So if you want to enter in our challenge for this week, after you finish creating your spooky drawing, you have to give it a title, and I'll walk through this in just a second. And your name is the author, and click upload and copy and paste that link into this Google form. And the winner will get some swag. So all you have to do is click save. And so I'm going to call this pumpkin practice. And then my name, upload. It is suitable for kids. I'm not a robot.
But then again, that's what a robot would say. Green. No idea if this is the green.
All right. So now it's uploaded my design. And then all you have to do is copy this link up at the top in your toolbar, Control-C it, and put it into the form. And then I'll be able to see it with your name. And there's just 2 of you, so if you both do it, I'll probably both give you a prize. Are you guys at school at all, or are you doing all remote?
I'm doing all remote.
I'm doing all remote.
So what I can do is if you upload your, and you don't have to do it right now, but if you want to upload a design for me, I'd love to be able to share it to get more kids on board. Then I can mail you your prize, but I'll reach out to you and let you know, or call the number that you have in Power School and let you know that you can pick it up at school, whichever works. Do you guys have any questions about how any of that works?
No.
Yes, I have a question. So we just have to turn it in today, right?
No, it does not have to be today, just in the next week.
So the last day to turn it in is next Friday.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
So yeah, I wanted you to have a chance to play around with it because it does take some practice with the tools. I wanted you to have a chance to play around with it first. So yeah, just in the next week.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys both for coming. I will let your teachers know that you participated so that if there's an opportunity for some extra credit, then that you guys will get it. I hope you guys have a good weekend.
Okay, well, bye, Miss Caligan.
Bye. See you
Have
later.
a good weekend.
All right, we're going to try.
Bye.